pretty soon, like an hour went by, and then an hour and a half.
It began as a simple procedure to extract what Sydney, Montana doctors naturally suspected was a coin stuck in little Jordan's throat.
It was really tough for all of us.
It wasn't a coin after all, but rather a battery lodged in Jordan's esophagus for more than 5 weeks. Alkali dripping, burning, and further submerging the battery deeper into the surrounding throat tissue. It was a night his mother and family will never forget.
All of a sudden, your life just turns, and your child could possibly die.
Stabilized, the next morning, help flight flew Jordan and Mom to St. Vincent. Waiting for him there, specially trained pediatric nurses, surgeons, and subspecialists.
So there was severe damage to his esophagus. We couldn't identify what the esophagus was. There was so much inflammation.
Into surgery he went, Dr. Ophelia Marin dilating Jordan's throat, creating a passage so the 18-month-old could breathe on his own. Then onto the pediatric intensive care unit so he could be monitored, treated, and cared for.
The fact that we have these doctors here in Montana that can provide exceptional care for our Montana kids is beyond amazing.
No one ever comes to the hospital looking for an ICU doctor, but having an intensive care unit that's well functioning, which means that the entire team is there, including the intensive care physician, the ICU nurses that are trained and know what to look for.
Lucky me, I don't need that silly little walker.
9-year-old Trey jokes about his walker as he climbs into his hospital bed at St. Vincent Healthcare. But just 4 days before, a four-wheeler ride went awry.
When they were getting off, the younger brother hit the throttle, and then Trey tried to get control of it. The ATV was rolled. I ran over. They were both laying on the ground.
As Trey focused his attention on his little brother, Scott McAvoy looked back at his oldest son.
The lower part of his pants was soaked in blood.
Just 2 inches above his knee, blood gushed from a wound on the inside of Trey's thigh. That's when the tone of the day took a tough turn.
I'd talk about his football team, the Eagles. I'd be like, and he kept saying, I think I need to go to sleep. And it's, no, you don't. You got to talk to Mom. Mom needs you right now.
Because, at 9 years old, they're well aware of what's going on. And so it's tough to hang on to your kid's leg, and he's asking if he's going to die.
Over the next few hours, Trey and his family would make it to the Garfield County Health Center in Jordan, and then continue on by ambulance to Miles City, where they live.
Am I going to have 3 children now instead of 4?
But before the ambulance even reached Miles City, doctors between Holy Rosary and St. Vincent were talking and had already made an important call. Time was running out. Help flight was on its way, and Trey and his mom were headed to Billings.
What we did know was that the blood flow to his leg had been completely cut off, and his foot was cold, and he couldn't move when he arrived, and there were no pulses anywhere in the vessels below his knee.
The OR prepped, Trey and Eldine were whisked into the emergency department to find a trauma team of doctors, nurses, and several surgeons, all waiting for Trey.
It was so fast, they just took him, and Dr. Rintz and I went walking towards the surgery.
Already 6 hours without blood to his lower leg and foot, the OR team and surgeons Jeff Rintz and Barry Winton went to work.
Right here, his artery was completely transected.
Severed in 2, Trey's femoral artery would not come together, so Dr. Winton used part of another vein, creating a bypass and allowing blood to flow back into Trey's leg. A careful procedure as the surgeons then ensured that the rush of blood did not create further damage.
Technically, I think the surgeons were brilliant in their ability to be able to fix such a minute structure.
It was the most fantastic feeling to see him come in, white leg, him being white. He had lost a lot of blood. To see him that morning when he was talking to us, he was smiling, he was wiggling his toes.
And we'll see how swollen it is, and it doesn't hurt much here, does it? No, I'm gonna take off your sock. I'll put it back on for you. Can you wiggle your toes for me?
The flight crew, ER crew here, the trauma team, nurses, doctors, technicians, anesthesiologists, more nurses. You know, it really takes, I mean, a lot of people.
I'm grateful for the, you know, the fact that we don't have to travel outside Montana to go and see specialists or intensivists.
Good for the family and good for the community.
I'm thankful for the staff we have at St. Vincent's, that's for sure.
We're in the right spot and we're doing the right thing, and these kids are getting better, and they're getting better in Montana.
We're not gonna have surgeons in Jordan and other smaller communities that can do this. So we have to be able to reach out to them very quickly and help them when they need it.
Amazing group of people here, amazing.